When the heart stops being afraid. It started with silence. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that follows an explosion. The kind that leaves you standing in the wreckage, not sure what's still yours. My name is Ethan Miller, 40 years old, construction foreman from Oregon. For most of my life, I believed I was one of the lucky ones. A wife I adored, a good job, a little house by the river. We weren't rich, but we were happy. Or at least, I thought we were. Then one morning, everything changed. A sharp pain in my chest while I was lifting a beam at the site. The world tilted, and the next thing I knew, I was in a hospital bed, staring at white walls that hummed like ghosts. Heart failure, they said. Not terminal, but serious. Months of recovery. A life on pause. I thought I'd have her by my side. Laura, my wife. The woman who once said she'd love me in sickness and in health. But people change when the storm hits. At first, she came every day, brought flowers, smiled for the nurses, kissed my forehead like we were still in a movie. But little by little, her visits grew shorter. Then she stopped smiling. Then she stopped coming. And one night, I saw what I wasn't supposed to. Her phone buzzed on the hospital chair. A message lit up the screen. "He's still in there. I'll come over when it's done." I didn't touch the phone. I didn't need to. Some things you just know in your bones. After she left for good. The silence came back, heavier than before. Days blurred together. Machines beeped. I stopped counting time. Then, one evening, a nurse I'd barely noticed before sat by my bed. Her name was Grace Carter. Not the kind of beauty that blinds you, the kind that heals you. Freckles, quiet voice, and eyes that carried their own share of storms. She didn't talk much. She didn't need to. Sometimes she just sat there, reading, while I drifted in and out. Sometimes she'd say something small, like, "You're stronger than you think, you know?" And for some reason, I believed her. Weeks turned into months. She was there through every setback, every bad night, every breath that felt borrowed. And one day, when I finally stood on my own again, she smiled, a real smile, and said, "Told you so." When I left the hospital, the world felt different, quieter, like I was walking through the ruins of a life that wasn't mine anymore. Laura called once, then twice. I didn't answer. I told myself I was done. But healing isn't a straight road. Some nights, I still heard her laughter echoing through the house, like a ghost that wouldn't leave. So I did what I knew best. I went back to work, building things, bridges, roads, walls, anything that stayed standing. One afternoon, while working on a bridge by the river, I saw a familiar face. Grace, hair pulled back, clipboard in hand, part of a volunteer team, helping rebuild the site after a flood. We talked. Then we laughed. Then, without meaning to, I started to breathe easier again. She wasn't there to save me. She was there to remind me I could save myself. A year later, we stood on that same bridge as the sun went down. I'd found peace, and maybe something like love. Then my phone buzzed. Laura. For a moment, I thought of ignoring it. But some doors need to be closed properly. Her voice was soft, trembling. "Ethan, I'm sorry. He left me. I made a mistake. I was scared. You didn't deserve what I did." I looked out at the water, the light shimmering like a second chance. And for the first time, I felt nothing. No anger, no longing. Just peace. "You're right," I said quietly. "I didn't. But thank you for letting me go." I hung up. Grace was standing a few feet away, watching me. I smiled, and she understood everything without a word. We walked to the center of the bridge, the wind brushing past us, the river glowing gold beneath. And in that moment, I realized, when the heart stops being afraid, it finally remembers how to love. The camera pulls back slowly. Ethan and Grace stand hand in hand on the bridge. The river reflecting the dying sun. The city hums in the distance, alive and forgiving. Sometimes, what feels like an ending is really just the moment your heart begins again.